So I know we already covered the evolution of servers, but I really wanted to make sure you understand the evolution of computing visually and the trade-offs as to why, because it's going to really help you understand the difference between a bare metal machine, VMs, containers, and functions. So what we have here is a graphical representation of a metal, or you might call it a dedicated machine. So the idea here is that we have a physical server that is wholly utilized by a single customer. You have to guess your capacity, and you'll probably overpay for an underutilized server. So if you have an application or multiple applications, you're always going to end up with wasted space because you're always going to have to buy a larger server because you're anticipating you're going to have to fill it. But that space is going to be costing you money because it's not being utilized. Upgrading beyond your capacity will be slow and expensive because you'd have to buy an additional server or you'd have to replace the server. You're limited by the operating system, so you have one operating system installed. It's going to be hard to patch and update, especially if you have multiple applications. And if you do have multiple applications running on a single server because you're trying to save money, you might have conflicts in resource sharing. So one might use more memory than the others because they're not virtually isolated, or one could cause a vulnerability than the other one. But the advantages of having a dedicated or bare metal machine is that you have a guarantee of security, privacy, and full utility of the underlying resources, but with the caveat that you're actually able to configure it so that it is secure, private, and etc. And so notice that I have an asterisk over the word dedicated. So dedicated could just mean that you wholly utilize a single customer. But the thing with bare metal is that there is no hypervisor layer. So you could have a dedicated virtual machine or a dedicated bare metal machine, but you'd never actually ever have a bare metal machine that is not dedicated. I don't think there is a shared version of it. So just note that there is no hypervisor at this layer. It's like the original server where you have no extra software layer for abstraction.